What's up everyone, my name is Abby, I like to read, and today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I plan to read in the month of May. So I have a total of 6 books on my May TBR for right now. I usually start out with a low amount of books, and what the trend has been lately is I read maybe half of the books on my TBR list, and then I read another 10 books that are not on my TBR list. I don't know. I guess I'm just very much like a mood reader type feeling right now, where I just pick up books that I want to read in that moment. So, but here is my tentative list that I have so far. So I'm going to start out with the books that I am currently reading. The first one is Visions of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer Armentrout and Raven Salvador. This is a Blood and Ash Flesh and Fire compendium as told by Miss Willa. I have been reading this for a few months now. I'm not very far. I'm only 14%, page 86. But I am fully expecting to read this very slowly, since it is like a compendium type book. The next book I have, I am 54% of the way through, and that is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This is the first book in the Throne of Glass series. I read this about 10 years ago, and I'm so excited to read this series again. It's my first reread of the series. I am tabbing it, I am underlining, I'm actually writing annotations. I'm having a lot of fun reading this. It took me a bit to motivate myself. I think I was a little bit nervous that it wouldn't hold up, since I do remember this being like my favorite series of all time, so it's kind of daunting to read it again. But I'm really liking it so far, and yeah, hopefully I will finish it in May. The next book I'm listening to on Audible, and that is City of Ruin by Teresa Weeks. This is the first book in the Witchwalker series. I read The Witch Collector in April, so in my April wrap-up, you will hear me talk about that book. This is the second book in that series. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm about 67% of the way through. So I'm excited to finish that and then read the third book in the series, which is actually the next book on my list, and that is The Wolf and the Witch, the third book in the Witchwalker series. This is actually, I would say it's kind of maybe 2.5. It is technically book 3, but it's not following the main characters. It's following some of our side characters. So in my mind, that's like 2.5 when you're like talking about the main storyline. The next book on my list I'm also currently reading, and that is Deadly Risk by Jane Blythe. This is the first book in the Prey Security Alpha Team series. In April, I read probably like 10 or 11 books of Jane Blythe's other series, so I'm kind of on a Jane Blythe kick right now, so I will probably read more of that series in May, but I just put the first book in my TBR because it's kind of like I have to be really in the mood to read those kinds of books, so I only put the first book in my TBR. And I am currently reading that book, and I am 51% of the way through. The next book I have is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. This is the first book in the All Souls series. This was actually supposed to be the TBR jar book of April, and I did not even start it. So I'm hoping that I actually read it in the month of May. And then, just to challenge myself a little bit, even though I haven't been doing very good on my TBR jar books, I am going to pick a book in May from the TBR jar. All right, the book I'll be reading is, oh no. Oh no. The Ship of Theseus. Oh no, I'm not gonna finish this. I can tell you that now. I am not gonna finish this book in May. Okay, so this book is actually called S. It is by J.J. Abrams. The premise of this book is so cool, and I've tried to read it a couple times already. It is seriously so cool. So this book has a lot of things that like come out of the book. Like, let me show you an example. There's like letters, postcards, a napkin with like a map drawn on it. So cool. Such a cool book. I actually have a date on this, January 27th, 2015. So, it's been almost 10 years since I've tried to read this book. It's such a cool book. So basically this is a library book. Not really, but like it's supposed to simulate being a library book. So in this book, you have like the actual book that the ship of Theseus is, but it's so complicated. It's a book where two people have annotated this book, and they are reading the book and passing notes. Every time they go to the library, they read a book, write a note, and then the next person comes and they write a note. I think they are like trying to solve some sort of mystery. So there's like files in here. There's like newspaper clippings. The idea of the book is so cool. But the actual book, Ship of Theseus by V.M. Straka, which is like a fictional book, like fictional author, is kind of boring. But you have to read it in order to understand kind of what the annotations are. I'm gonna try. This book is so freaking cool. Like it has like the Stam book for loan. Here's all the annotations. The book is so cool. I will try, guys. I will try, but I may not make it. Even if I DNF this book, I want to keep it because it's just so cool. Okay, I picked the hardest book from my TBR drawer that I could have possibly picked, so that's great. So those are all the books that I plan to read for the month of May, not April, May. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what you're reading for May. Also, have you read this book? And if you have, did you like it? Let me know. Subscribe if you want to see more content, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. Throne of Glass by Sarah Dramat. So today I'm going to be talking about all the books I plan to read in the month of April. Nope, May.